What is going on, everybody? What is going on? Today's topic is 8 things to address when quitting pornography. Make sure that you like, that you share, and that you subscribe to my channel. And also, man, let me know what you think in the comment section below, man. Are you digging it? You're not digging it? Is it something that you agree with? Something that you disagree with? All comments are welcome. Ain't nothing gonna be disabled. So without further ado, let's get into it. We got to address the triggers. The main triggers that I've seen is stress, boredom, and loneliness. If you could address all three of these things, you are better off, right? Because here's the thing, man, when it comes to addiction in general, there has to come a recovery process. You cannot heal without recovery. So recovery is first and the healing process is second. You understand? When you are in this healing process, you have to learn and understand better things about yourself. You have to understand is that when you're stressed, you're bored, or you're lonely, you don't need to turn to pornography. You could go for a walk. You could paint something. You could go play basketball. You could go to the gym. You could do all these other things. But most importantly, here's what I really think that you should do. I really do believe you need to schedule your time. You need to plan out your day. Because that's the problem with a lot of us. All we do is just sit down here, just going through the flow, going through the motions, and that's not what we need to be doing. Now, don't mishear me. I'm not saying don't have fun. I'm not saying let loose or never live a little, but you got to stay focused on this addiction. You can't spend all your time indoors. You got to be focused on your business. You got to be focused at your job. And if anything, if your phone is a stumbling block for your job, take your phone, keep it in the car. That's it. Because here's the thing about addiction. Addiction loves comfort. You must starve the comfort in order to make something happen. So point number 2 I want to talk about is this. I want to talk about potential abuse. Some people have been touched inappropriately. Some people have been sexually. The thing about it is that abuse affects the mind, the body, and the soul. And abuse can really affect the way that you view other people. Abuse can have you looking at certain type of porn that's actually not normal, not okay. And it's making it a lot more harder for you to connect with the opposite gender as a man. Because let's be honest, you're trying to choke, scratch, bite, claw, or spit on this woman. And let's just be honest. These are the kind of things that you probably dealt with when you were being abused yourself. I'm just here to tell you this. This is not normal behavior. I'm just going to tell you the truth. All the other people will say to each his own. Well, we don't do that around here. Okay? I don't think that's normal. I don't think that you should be doing that. And that's just what I'm sticking to. That's what I'm going to stand firm on. Okay? So that's just something that you need to address. You need to write down who was the one that hurt you. You need to write a letter to this person. Now, you can choose to send it or choose not to send it, but it's 100% up to you. But you need to get it off your chest. That's the main thing here. Get it off your chest, make it plain, and forgive this person. Number 3 is early exposure. Being exposed to this stuff when you were what? 10 years old, 12 years old? Some of you have been younger than that. Some it's even been around 6, 7 years of age, and you've never actually told your parents. You kept it a secret. You've hid it. Or you've had your mom or your dad, you caught them looking at porn. Again, going back to point number 2, you need to learn to forgive these people. You need to learn that this is not the way that you have sex. You're not going to learn anything from porn. Most of the porn industry is nasty, it's disgusting, but most importantly, it is sex exploitation of both the men and the women. Most of the men and the women there are taking drugs, drinking alcohol, and most importantly, are not in their right mind. So you are watching 2 people having sex that are not in their right mind. I don't think that's a logical thing to do. Many of us have a lot of bad habits. I'll list a couple. Many of the bad habits that we have is lying, cheating, stealing, but most importantly, not setting clear boundaries. What do all these things have in common? A manipulator. Because that's what manipulators do. They lie, they cheat, they steal, and they blame other people. and they don't set clear boundaries. Someone who battles a porn addiction, their main issue is they cannot tell the truth. They always lie. They always in denial. They can never get something done, and they never set clear boundaries, and they're never clear about what they believe in, and they never embrace challenges. These are what we call bad habits because they're their inability to handle stress. Look, listen, stress is not 100% a bad thing. Stress can be a good thing. It's about how you handle it. I remember when I used to do track and field. When I did track and field as a kid, when I used to play basketball, and now since I've been lifting weights, you have to put some stress on the body. You have to embrace challenges. You have to make something happen with your life. Because if you're not making anything happen with your life, you're going to fall behind. And that's one thing I've seen with a man. Any man will tell you this. Any man will tell you this. He does not want to fall behind in life. And I can tell you right now, when you are battling a porn addiction, you're going to fall behind. Many men who look at pornography, here's the truth. They're looking at this material for 2 to 3 hours a day, right? For 2 to 3 hours a day, they're looking at pornography, okay? Those same 2 to 3 hours can help you to build a business. Whether it's Amazon drop shipping, you can learn a new skill like copywriting, digital marketing, something in tech, but you're spending all this time on average 2 to 3 hours per day looking at material that you ain't got no business looking at, draining your energy through masturbation. You have to ask yourself this: is this the man that you want to be? That's what you need to ask yourself. You need to ask yourself, is this the man that I want to be? A man that complains, who whines, who has these bad habits, who's always lying, can't be trusted, is not disciplined, does not embrace challenges. I don't think that's the man that you want to be. And let's just be honest, that's not the man that God created you to be. Number 5, you must address your recovery plan. So for example, let's just say you're going through life. Let's say somebody passed away. How many days off are you going to take off of work? About a week? Or let's just say that somebody didn't die. Let's just say it's a bad day for you. You've been feeling as if you're going to relapse. How many days off are you going to take off from work? 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and most importantly, in those 1 to 3 days, what are you going to do? When we have time off, we must use our time off very, very, very productively. Because when we don't use our time off very productively, we end up doing things that we ain't got no business doing, aka looking back at pornography. So are we going to go for a walk? If we're going to go for a walk, how long is it going to be? 2, 3 hours? 4 hours? How much time are we going to spend indoors? Your recovery plan has to be set in stone. How many days are you going to take off from work? What are you going to do on those days off? Like going outside, like setting a schedule, whatever it is that you need to do, you need to have a plan. I know with me, my recovery plan, whenever my job gets too stressful, whenever content creation gets too stressful, here's what I'm going to tell you what I do. Here's what I end up doing. What I end up doing is this. I end up taking 1 day off. I take time to pray. I take time to fast. I eat very light or not at all. I'll end up just drinking water throughout the whole day. I'm going to spend a good majority of my time not indoors, but outside in nature. I may even go to the movie theater. I may go on a hike. But here's the things that I'm going to do. If I know I'm taking a day off, I'm going to plan it the day before. So for example, I'm recording this video on Tuesday. If I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do any kind of work. I'm tired. I don't want to do anything. I'm just tired. I don't want to do anything tomorrow. What am I going to do? I'm going to take tomorrow off, right? I'm going to take tomorrow off. And as I take tomorrow off, I'm going to go outside. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to fast the whole entire day by just drinking water. I'm going to go to the library and, just chill out there. Or I'm going to go for a hike, What I'm going to do with my day off is I'm going to be productive by spending time outdoors, connecting with friends, connecting with family, even going to the movies. Whatever it is that I need to do to get away from my addiction, that's what I'm going to do. Number 6, the truth is this. It may be your job. Your job may be stressing you out. You may be at a very stressful job and you need to have that coming to Jesus moment. Am I going to stay at this job? Am I going to leave this job? Or am I going to ask my boss, hey, look, listen, I need you to decrease my responsibilities here. Hey, look, listen, I need some help. Because that's the one thing about addiction. Many people who battle with addiction don't like to ask for help. Your past. Your past is in your past. Do not bring up your past and bring it in to the future. Because when you bring your past into the future, and most importantly, into the present, it's not going to be well for you. You're going to be blaming people, whining, crying, making all these mistakes, and most importantly, blaming everybody else for all the mistakes that you made because you didn't want to hold yourself accountable. Nobody's mad at you. Nobody's upset with you. Nobody's out to get you. The truth is this. People want to help you, but you have to allow. The key word here is this. Allow people to help you. You may have to change your job, change your career, or decrease the responsibilities at your job. Those are your three options that you need to take into consideration. Number 7 is a big one. Are you going to cut off certain people? Many of us mean well. We're very empathetic towards other people. And our problem is our compassion and our understanding can unfortunately blur the lines. I get it, man. You want to help out that person who's been battling porn addiction, okay? But the truth is this, you quit and that person has not quit. And along the way, this person has addictive behavior. So not only do they battle with porn, they battle with the problem with alcohol, drugs, promiscuous sex. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. But most importantly, here's what I want you to understand here, right? What I want you to understand is that you're leaving these people for a good thing, not a bad thing. Let me explain. When I mean you're leaving these people for a good thing and not a bad thing, I mean is that you're trying to elevate in your life. Whenever you're trying to elevate in life, I want you to remember this one thing. People will get in the way. Old friends will get in the way, and they will try to remind you of the one guy that you used to be. They'll try to remind you that, that was old Caleb. He used to smoke, drink, do drugs, do this, that, and the other. Now he wants to come on camera talking about how to help people out to recover from an addiction. Who does he think he is? The truth is this. People change. People change over a new leaf. Not everybody does, but many people take their change and their growth seriously. And that's what you need to do in order to recover from this addiction. You got to take your change very seriously. And if that means cutting some people off, then that's what you need to do. Don't hate them. Don't have a problem with them. If anything, pray for them. Pray for them. But the reason why it's a bad thing to stay around bad company is because you're not going to elevate. You're not going to grow. And then you're going to be 40, 50, 60 years old talking about shoulda, coulda, and woulda. Who wants to be doing that? I know I don't. I'm 30 years old, man. Let me tell you something. I am not going to live my life with shoulda, coulda, and woulda. I've been free from this addiction for a couple years now, and I ain't trying to go back. I love the free man that I am today. Number 8, finally, number 8 is this. How are you going to transmute your sexual energy? Okay? Are you going to build that business? Are you going to get into the gym and build the body that you want? Are you going to start eating right again? Are you going to start going to bed early? These are the things that you need to consider. Are you going to go back to school to get a new job? Let's just say you're tired of working at Walmart. Let's just say you want to work in the tech world. So what are you going to do? What's the plan that you are going to create to do that? Because that's the key right there. Everything in life, when it comes to recovering from an addiction, is all about planning. It's all about addressing triggers, planning, setting boundaries, and becoming the man that God wants you to be. But you cannot become the man God wants you to be by being afraid. The scripture says, do not fear, do not be dismayed, for I am the Lord your God. Okay? These scriptures are a love letter from God Himself to keep us out of trouble. Yes, there are trials and there are tribulations, but the truth is this: God allows these things to happen to build our character. Just imagine, right, if everything went right in your life, what would you do then? Complain about how life is always good all the time? You would have nothing to do. God has to give you trials and tribulations to build your character. Because when you can build your character, you can handle things. Then you can walk around with your chest up, looking the camera in the eyes, looking another person in the eyes and saying this: I am strong, bold, brave, courageous, and a disciplined man. That's what it's about. That's what it's all about at the end of the day, man. You got to be able to hold your head up and say, you know what? I done been through some ish. And I may still go through some more ish. But however, I am not going to let these things define me. My past does not define me. I am a new man of God. And that's what you tell yourself every day. And I promise you, these positive affirmations that you have in your life will help you to remain free. So that's all I got for today, man. As always, please like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. But until the next video, take care, God bless, and as always, peace with two fingers. You do not want to keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting something different to happen. It's time for a change. Listen, it's time for a change, which is why I created my course, Breaking the Chains of Pornography. I created this course because I started realizing, wait a minute, there's so many men out here who are struggling with pornography. So many men out here struggling with sex addiction. So many men out here who are afraid to get married, and so many men who can't even keep a girlfriend. As someone who's had a problem with pornography 2 years ago, right? I can honestly tell you, I was walking around, I was shy, I was timid, I was nervous, I was scared. I didn't know who I was at all. I didn't care about my appearance. I didn't take care of myself. And I was always afraid of everything. I had this doomer gloomer attitude on life. I'm sitting around here and I'm blaming everybody else for my problems. I'm blaming men, I'm blaming women, I'm blaming the church. But who am I not blaming? I'm not blaming myself. So I had to do some soul searching. And by the grace of God, I've still been free, which is why I want to help you out. I get it. It's lonely being a man. But this course right here also has community, has the right connections, has God-fearing people in it as well, and most importantly, a support system for Christian men who are battling what's going on in the last days. Let me tell you something, man. The last thing you want to be doing in these last days is battling with pornography. What would Jesus do if he was sitting right next to you? If he was sitting right next to you and he knew that you were battling with pornography and you just kept giving in over and over and over again instead of doing something differently. Do you think that Jesus would be happy with your behavior?